I remember my first 12-inch was Nas, One Love, and my girlfriend at the time went to the city, because, you know, they don't have no 12 inches where I lived, not even close. So she was in the city in San Francisco, and I remember she just picked up a couple 12 inches. I remember Nas, One Love, and Keith Murray, Most Beautifulest Thing, and I got those, and I was like, oh shit, this is the greatest moment ever. And those are the two.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, what I was telling you earlier is when I learned how to DJ, since I was in Humboldt, I hooked my turntables up backwards because I didn't know how to. No one taught me how to do it, so I had
no YouTube videos back then.
There was no YouTube videos.
You want to learn how to DJ, you had to learn.
Yeah, so I plugged in my turntables backwards. So when I pull the fader out this way, I'm cutting on this side. You know what I mean? So I'd pull it out like this. Right now they call that the hamster scratch when you pull it out this way. But back then that was just me being. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean? I just hooked it up by myself. Went like this, and I was like, oh, it makes noise when you do this. It must be right. And I realized later, probably 3-4 years later, I started watching these DMC battles on TV, and I was like, what are they doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, that's how far out of the loop I was. I had to teach myself. I realized then, since that's now in my thing, I better just get out of this DJing thing because I can't pull it out this way and move the right way. Like, I'm never going to be able to do this. So that's how I got into making beats, actually, to tell you the truth. I was like, screw this.
Motivation kicked you into making more beats.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't understand doubles at the time. I was just still kind of learning about it. There was no YouTube. There was no internet even. It was barely internet. And like it was at the time where I was just personally trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Oh, there's a snare here, and a snare there, and a snare there. Let me match it with this other. I had no clue. People were going back and forth when I heard different things. You know what I mean? Back then.
First 12-inch I got was Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, from CNS record shop in basically outside of San Diego in Chula Vista, California. It was just the whole store. I remember walking in there and feeling like how they have that popular expression, a kid in a candy store. Like, you know, I'm a big kid, I'm a big fat kid. So going into an ice cream shop, going into a candy store my whole life as a kid, I'm like, oh yes, food, ooh, eat that. And I just didn't get that feeling when I remember walking into that store for the first time and seeing all the 12 inches they had there. I'm just learning about DJing and just seeing all that music there and having that same feeling like I had as a kid. I just realized that kind of at that moment that this was going to be a special thing. Getting into music was probably going to be the end of my football career and trying to play sports because I was just so drawn to that, and it was like instantly that feeling, kid in the candy store. So Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, CNS Records, Chula Vista, California, yes. The first record I ever had in my life was Chaka Khan, Feel For You. That was the first album, but I wasn't a DJ, I was just a kid, and I had the Chaka Khan record.
If my brother stabbed me in my head, what the fuck is going on to make your blood stab you in the back of your head?
Opening acts said, hey man, he put his hand on my shoulder, he said, hey, I need you to take this really calmly. So he goes, Maurice is gone. And I was like, what?
Back when tax bracket shit was way past any practical math I did, now I'm halfway past half to a capitalist. 3/4 there, yeah, to the rap top of the list. Now I'm really getting my dividends and sapping a bit.
If you're on a nice ass, push ass bus and while you're chilling, you're just, bow, killing cockroaches. You know, and you know roaches come out at night. So when you turn the lights off, the roaches is crawling on your body.